Shalom everybody, here we go, another episode of Rabbi in the Hot Seat where you get to ask me any question you like about anything you want to ask. I am an unorthodox Orthodox Rabbi. Ask away.
Do Jews believe in horoscopes?
Jews believe that there is power to the stars, and what stars you were born under certainly does have an effect on your character trait and many different things in your life. However, we also believe that we aren't controlled by that and we can overcome astrological signs. We learn this in the Torah, where Abraham was not able to have a child, and then it says Hashem, God, took Abraham outside his tent, and the Kabbalistic masters teach us that he actually took him outside of the stars, outside of his horoscope, so he could override it. So yes, we do believe it definitely does have an influence, but we're not bound by that influence, and we can overcome it.
Can Jews own pets?
Yeah, Jews can own pets. Many Jews do own pets. Often Orthodox Jews don't own pets so much because it's a big responsibility to take care of another animal. You know, you got 8 children, they're hard enough, you're going to have another animal in your house. So that's one reason. We do say that if you do own a pet, you have to feed your pet before yourself as a matter of compassion. There are some problems with owning pets in terms of keeping Shabbat and how to take care of a pet on Shabbat.
My father is Muslim and my mother is Jewish. According to Muslim beliefs, I am Muslim, but according to Jewish beliefs, I am Jewish. What am I?
Well, we say that Judaism is a spiritual reality. If your mother was Jewish, you were born, you have a Jewish soul. So no doubt, 100%, you're definitely Jewish. And obviously, if you ask the same question to a Muslim, he might say the opposite. He might say, no, you're a Muslim. If you're born to a Muslim man, you're a Muslim. But we have evidence that the Torah is true and Judaism is true. I have nothing against Islam, by the way. I think it's got great points to it. But I haven't seen evidence that it's the truth.
I've been finding it difficult to get aroused while being intimate with my wife. Can we watch pornography together to get us in the mood?
Well, halachically, I'm not actually sure because I'm not a posek, so I can ask someone. But spiritually and emotionally, I think that would be a terrible idea. In fact, the number one problem in marriages these days is pornography. It destroys marriages. You don't want to watch other people being intimate. So there's much, much better ways to learn to get in the mood. You should go to sex therapy with your wife, and you should learn foreplay and maybe even other methods of arousal, and you can take Viagra. There are many things to do, but just in general, whether it's halachically allowed or not, it's definitely not a very good idea, especially if you're going to be aroused by looking at some other woman rather than your wife. In fact, I think maybe it's not halachically okay, because you're not allowed to be thinking of another woman whilst you're with your wife. So play around with your wife and take Viagra if you need, and enjoy the process of learning to get aroused. I have students that have this problem about he wants it more than her or this, so they actually go to sex therapy, and they say it's actually very enjoyable and fun, and it's made them even closer than they were before. So I don't know exactly what goes on in sex therapy, but what they're doing is getting them to be communicating with each other and attracted to each other more. So sex therapy is an amazing way to create greater understanding, greater connection, and it's saying that we really want to invest in our relationship, and they give you different games and things to play with and oil massages and it's actually a really fun, beautiful, exciting way to get to be intimate with your wife, whereas pornography is really, really bringing an external thing into your marriage which you don't want. Rather focus more intimately on your own marriage and your own bodies and getting to know each other and communicating with each other, and then through that you can have an even more beautiful and intimate, emotionally intimate, spiritually intimate and physically intimate marriage.
Why do Jews dress in black and white?
Well, not all Jews do. So if you're talking about the ultra-Orthodox Jews, I'll tell you 2 reasons. Number 1, it's just easy. They're just not into fashion. I don't want to have to think what I'm going to put on when I wake up in the morning. I just want to put on whatever I do, and in a way I do want to look like everyone else. Now, what's my inner world, my self-expression, that has to be separate, but I don't want to have to stand out and think about fashion. The other one is, it's saying my values. It's really saying I identify with this group. So if you're a football fan, you put on your football top and it says I identify with this group. So when everyone wears the same thing, you're saying these are my values. I'm an Orthodox Jew and I wear a white shirt, for example, because white represents spirituality, or Ein Sof, the spiritual light, and it represents purity. So I really want to have purity in my life. Not sure about the black trousers, actually. I don't wear black trousers. I wear dark blue trousers, pants. I wear dark blue pants, man. But that's why we wear white. Number one, so that we don't have to think about what we're putting on and we don't get into fashion. Number two, so we can express that I'm a member of this tribe and therefore I have certain values. And number three, because white represents purity and spirituality.
There are much cooler clothes you could be wearing other than a white shirt, though.
Well, I think the white shirt's pretty cool. I also believe that we want to look respectable. And yes, in some ways we got this idea from Western culture, but a suit is seen as respectable. And seeing as we're here to represent Hashem, we want to show up in the world in a respectable manner. But yes, I think originally they used to wear those long, like flowy staff, and some people walking around Jerusalem do that now. And I think maybe at the end of days we are going to do that. I'd quite like to wear that.
Can someone be buried in a Jewish cemetery if they committed suicide?
Absolutely. I believe that it used to be in the past that they weren't allowed to. But nowadays, people who commit suicide, it's said that they didn't kill themselves, the mental illness killed them. So if someone is suffering from terrible manic depression, they're bipolar, and they end up taking their own lives, it's not considered that they took their own life. It's as if they had cancer, God forbid. The cancer killed them. So just like cancer is a disease, we now are aware that mental illness is a disease. So if someone kills themselves because of a mental illness, we say that they were killed by the mental illness, not by themselves. So it's not really counted as suicide. We believe that anyone who commits suicide has some form of mental illness. You can't not. So maybe you say, no, I've just had so much pain in my life, so much trauma, so much suffering that I can't deal with it anymore. That's considered a mental illness. Then we say the pain and the trauma is what killed you. Or if you're very old and you have a lack of dignity and you have no reason to live anymore and you have no quality of life, so we say that is what killed you. Anyone who commits suicide nowadays, we say that their circumstances is what killed them, rather than that they killed themselves. Whoa, that was an intense one. Bit of suicide, bit of sex, bit of horoscopes, bit of all sorts of things. And it's really good to be able to get this all out into the open, talk about it, be authentic and real and open and vulnerable, just so that we can be more clear on our lives, understand Judaism more, understand ourselves more, and use it to make ourselves better people and the world a better place. Like, subscribe, share, notifications. What are all the other things there are? Is that all of them? Great. Do all of those things and we'll all be able to live a much better life. See you on another episode of Rabbi in the Hot Seat.